Charlotte Lewis with Share with Charlotte, where emphasis is placed on finding balance in relationships. I am the creator and host, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in to a new episode. And this particular topic is one that God speaks so much biblically about, that man, again, has issues and problems with, and that is taming your tongue, a spiritual checkup. But before I dive into the message of what I want to share with you, I want to do a spiritual checkup. I want you to do one. And that is, if you were to go in and do a spiritual checkup pertaining to taming your tongue, what would be the results of your checkup? Would it be one that would show that everything looked favorable? That whatever you're doing is really good and just keep doing what you're doing, and you leave with such pride and feeling good about the results and the outcome of your examination? With your spiritual checkup of how you have been taming your tongue, would it be one of, we're starting to see signs of some things, but we don't think right now that we have to treat it? Because I think if you start doing some things differently, I think you'll be okay. I think you can manage this on your own. But we are starting to see some signs. With your checkup, your spiritual checkup of taming your heart, be one of, we're starting to see some things that are starting to go on that we're not liking right now. But we're going to have to treat this, because if not, it's going to get out of control, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to treat this with this, but we need you to really do some things differently so that it doesn't get to a place where it's no longer manageable. Or with your spiritual checkup on taming your tongue, be one of, we see some things going on that apparently been going on for quite some time, because it really has spread throughout your whole body, and right now you're in a place of a critical state. What we're going to do is we're going to help and prescribe some things for you that can, maybe it won't resolve the issue, because there's so many things going on for so long, but you're really at a place that truly this could lead to death. This is really could be one that's killing you. But we want to get you to a place of comfortable, but you never know. I'm a praying person, so you never know what through prayer, what God can do for you. But what would your spiritual checkup look like? What would that look like if someone did a spiritual checkup on how you've been managing your tongue, controlling and taming your tongue? Because God speaks so much on words. When God gave us this tongue, God meant it for good. Man has turned things around and sharpened this tongue to the place of it's now used as a weapon. It's now used to harm and to destroy and even to kill. But that was never the original intent when God gave us this tongue, because it was truly meant for good. I always say, and I would always continue to say, we're just lousy as people when it comes to relationships. We rather do harm than to do good, on many occasions when you really could do good. And people don't realize the weapon and the power that this tongue has. It has so much power in this little tongue. So much power. It brings people to their knees. It has taken people to their grave. But what a tongue can actually do, it can bring peace. It can bring harmony. It can bring joy. It can bring love. It can heal. It can do so much good if man would use it in a manner in which God intended. But we choose not on so many occasions. And what gets me a lot of time is even when we use it to harm or to destroy, we boast about what we just did. We want to talk about how we cut them off to the knees. We want to talk about how we put them in their place because we cut them down. We want to use words because of how we feel in some level of inferiority. We want to cut people because of our insecurities. But when you think of relationships, you cannot think of relationship without thinking of the words in which you use to build or to destroy relationships. Some of you out there even probably remember a relationship that you once had. That was good. But somewhere through the course of words, whether there was words coming from you or words coming from someone else, that relationship no longer exists. Or it may be on life support. Or it may be in the place of where you have asked for forgiven and were forgiven. But words matter because they carry a lot of weight. A lot of weight. And it also, your words reflect where your heart is. Because what's in you come out of you. But words have destroyed so many relationships. And one thing about the words in which we use, in which we tell people, that are very hurtful, very damaging, very harmful, you cannot take your words back because it's already out there and they heard it. And it hurt them. Yes, they can forgive you, but the words are still remembered. And yes, it had destroyed a relationship that really could have been something great in your life. We're so damaged as people. We're so damaged as people a lot of times that you literally have to just be careful about the words you say because you lose control because there's so much in you that some of us have never dealt with. And what is in you come out of you. And that's why this scripture right here means so much to me. And I just want to read it to you. It comes from Psalm 14:3. And it said, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Because this is the door of my lips. I want God to guard that. So when I open that door, which is my mouth, I want every word that comes out of my mouth be one that truly has been guarded and controlled by God. Because I don't trust me. Now, if you trust you that every time you say a word is going to be the right word, then you're ahead of a whole lot of people. Because I don't trust me with everything that comes out of my mouth. Because just like anybody else, we deal with situations that literally can really just horn in on your emotions. That can just stir up some things in you. One that can be chaotic. One that can create conflict. And in that moment of chaos and conflict, you have to maintain that level of control. So when you open that door to your mouth, you want God to be standing guard. Stand guard. Because I don't want to lose it. I don't want that moment and that opportunity to use harsh words take over the same opportunity that I can use words that are favorable. Because the words that you use can either escalate the issues or de-escalate the issue. You can use, your words can be gasoline on a fire that now was once a spark, but now it's a blaze because the words that come out of your mouth next will determine the next, whatever's going to happen in the next realm of things. And it's now in your court. What are you going to do with it? Or are you going to increase the flame, or are you going to see how you can de-escalate the problem so that you can put out the flame? But sometimes we get caught up in the chaos of things that we feel like we need to go tit for tat, that we think that we're not going to let them just say anything to us without saying those things even harsher back, because we want to make sure we got one up on them. But that's not the intent of how you manage and tame the tongue. Taming the tongue just means truly that you're always in a place of where you are working toward that level of control. You putting forth the effort to always maintain and stay in control of what comes out your mouth. Taming the tongue is not easy. So make sure you understand. I'm not saying this because I think it's easy. I know it's not easy because we're human. We're not perfect. We come with a lot of stuff. But it certainly is not impossible. you can tame your tongue. You can manage that. And that's why I was saying, what spiritual checkup would you have in regards to how you taming your tongue? Because it's very important. Because in and all things that you do, all these words that you think you're using so carelessly, that you're boasting about, you got to answer for every single word that you've said. God keeps records of every single thing. He's not a forgetful God. It's not like he remembered this but doesn't remember that. He remembers everything. So it all matters. And see, just like you think that you got one up on them because you're too busy seeing their reaction, their response as you cutting them down, literally making them bleed with your words. You're too busy thinking of how you thought you had one on me, but look what I have on you. You're too busy looking at that as opposed to what it actually have done to you. You forgot all about you, the damage you just doing to yourself. Because it's not just about the other person. It defines your character, what's in you. It defines your level of maturity. It defines your walk with Christ. It defines who you are and how people perceive you. How people have the reputation which you're giving people to believe you are. Who are you? You can't proclaim to be this person. Your walk with Christ is one of one you choosing to take, but yet your mouth speaks something differently. Your tongue is used to cut. It's used as fire. And you know fire does what? It destroys. Which brings me to this scripture, which I thought was great. Out of James 3:5-6 says, the tongue is a small part of your body, but it makes boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark, just like your tongue. The tongue is also a fire, a world of evil amongst the part of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. That tongue is like fire. It destroys, but it can destroy the whole body, which means it can consume the whole body. That tongue, that small part of your body, has that kind of control over that. And you look at other parts of your body. You got your feet, your hands, your eyes, your ears. You got all of that. The breast part. You know, you got your limbs. You got all these parts. But that little part of your body is like fire that can consume the whole entire body. And you don't think that tongue has power. That tells you even that, the level of power that the tongue has. People need to understand the level is so great, it's so huge, that you can't play with the tongue. You can't play with your words as if they don't matter, because they do. And you need to pray that God guard the door of your mouth so that what you speak won't kill or destroy or harm anybody. Because we want to be better at what that is. We want to be better because God gave it to us as a gift for many things that we can use for good with the tongue. Man choose to use it for something else. But I just want to say this with the word. Where's your walk with Christ? Are you truly in one step in that direction of walking with him? Do you really want to be Christ-like? Because to use your tongue as fire is not Christ-like. To use your words that break people down or to kill or destroy is not Christ-like. Christ gave us the ultimate example of what it is to walk in the Spirit, to be one with him. He gave that. But we in a position where We have to choose and decide how we want to look, how we want to look to the world. When people see me, I want people to see that there's good and there's God in me. When I speak, I want them to feel, to hear my words of one of good, the one that's going to bring peace and harmony, the one of compassion and love. I want that to spew out of my mouth. I want my tone to be one of my heart, to be one that says there's good in me. And when there's a moment, and there will be a moment, I want, when I feel like I can literally have that moment where I can go there. I want to exhale, breathe in, take a moment, take a breath, pause before I speak. Because I already know I'm stirred, something stirred in me that can take me there. Because I'm human, I'm not perfect. But I don't want what I say next to taint my character. I don't want what I say next to be displeasing to God in my next word. Are you saying all these things because you have an audience? Are you saying all these things because you want to boast because it makes you feel good? Or you trying to please man with your words, so that's why you go around boasting about what you did, because you want man to show favor over what you did. But what's bigger and greater than man showing favor over what you did is God showing favor over what you did. We're here to please God, not man. But we have to truly do a self-examination as to where you are. Where are you? Where is your spiritual checkup? What do you need to work on to be better? What are you needing that you know you're lacking? Where is your level of weakness? When are you most or in that place where someone sets you off? How are you now going to manage that? How are you now going to tame your tongue? What things are you going to set in place that you can do differently? Because apparently what you've been doing has not worked. So what can you do differently when someone take you to that place that you know they've taken you to that line? And if I cross over, there's some things I'm going to say that I'm probably going to regret. Because a lot of things too that you say, you do come back later and regret. But the word is already out there and you've done the damage. And we don't want to keep doing damage. We want to do better. Where is your weakness? So that your word doesn't cut like a knife. Because even a knife is designed for something good. It's knife is designed for cutting, chopping. But that same knife that helped us in a place of preparation for something good we want to do, in our chopping and our cutting, that same knife can make someone bleed. That same knife can cut someone down to the point of death. That same knife can be used as harm. That same knife cuts deep. So it's not about the tongue. It's about how the tongue is used. That's the difference. It's not about the knife, but it's how the knife is used, whether it's for good or it's to harm. But we need to really, 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 really be better with our words. We really need to be better with our words. There's nobody out here who don't have a moment. I don't care what position or what you hold, because you're first human. You're first made imperfect. You're first made in sin, with sin, always. So you're not perfect. But it's the control. It's the taming of your tongue. It's always been a place of making that effort to make sure that tongue is used for the purpose in which God gave it to us. It's critical that we do that, because there's so many scriptures in the Bible as it relates to that. And I'm going to have those put up, because I was looking at Proverbs 18:21, where the power of the tongue. The power of the tongue. and those who love it would eat its fruit. Whatever that fruit is, if you love it, you're going to keep eating it. But it's the power of the tongue. And then you look at scriptures like Luke 6:45. With the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of your heart, the mouth speaks. Because it comes from here to here. So what's in here, it literally comes out of your mouth. And you have also, when you look at Matthew 12, 36, 37, and that's judgment day, when God literally gonna look at every word, every careless word you've ever said. He's gonna judge you on that. So don't take that as if so lightly, as if that was back when. No, it all gonna be accounted for. Know that. So you can't take back the past. You can't take back the past of everything you've done, but you sure can improve your mouth, your tongue, taming your tongue going forward, so that going forward you can be better. And maybe some of you out there like the way you are, and I know some of you probably do. You don't care about your choice of words. You comfortable with your mouth. You comfortable with cutting people and harming people. You think there's power to you. You think that's a place of where you're superior, like you're bigger. I won't even say that matter that you're better, but you certainly feel like you're bigger. That you're more in control over your life because nobody's gonna have anything over you. That you think your words, because of how you conduct your words, makes you bigger, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. Because of how people see you. You may see yourself like that, but people do not see you like that. And then you may be looking at Colossians 4:6. And let your conversation be always full of grace. When you think you want a girl there, give people grace. Let it be full of grace when you speak. Because your words matters. We all make mistakes. We all have moments. But just because someone having a moment doesn't mean that it has to trigger a moment in you, that you also have one. You can diffuse something by the next word you say. Or again, you can escalate the issue instead of the blaze. But you have that kind of power with your next word that you say. And then you have Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So what do you want to do? You want to be one that turns away the wrath? Or you want to be one that stirs up the anger? Because you're mad and you ticked off, so you don't care in the moment. But a lot of times we do that, and we do come back with regrets. We just want to be better, and we want to be smarter. We want to be more committed to the word. We want to be more committed to being more like Christ in how we choose our words. And then last one is Ephesians 4:29. Do not let any unwholesome talk out of your mouth come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So it says what's helpful to building others up according to their needs. Because sometimes we're so busy looking at our own needs that we're feeling our own self. And we do get in our feelings. And it's normal, it's natural. But when you get in your own feelings, don't let that consume your next response. Because it's natural. I'm not saying none of this stuff now, it's natural. But it's how you conduct yourself beyond that. It's what matters. And so I want to leave this with you. And that is, when you open your mouth next, and you're in a position where you could make choices as to what you're saying next, I want you to ask yourself, is the next word coming out of my mouth, is this going to be to harm or to help this situation? Is this even necessary that I even have to say what I'm about to say? Is this going to be one coming from love or coming from a place that I just want to hurt somebody? What is it going to be for you? What are your thoughts? Because you have to really ask yourself, because that's taming your tongue. Because you're giving real thought to what's getting ready to come out your mouth. You're not just habitually just saying stuff. You're not just intentionally wanting to just hurt somebody. So you want to process it. You want to think about what's coming out next. Don't be so quick to answer without truly listening. And don't be so quick to respond without truly processing your thoughts, because your next thing you do could be critical. It's either going to escalate or de-escalate that situation that you're in. But we got to get better as people, because we're lousy when it comes to communicating. We're lousy. We got to do better. And then there's, of course, some other scriptures. Because it does say, James 1:19-20, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because you know when we're angry, we often lose it. We often lose it. And we don't want to do that. But we want to speak more with truth, more with love. We want to do that. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you seriously to first do a self-spiritual examination of you when it comes to taming your tongue. What have you done? What would your diagnosis be? What would be, as far as when you examine, what would that look like? And then going forward, what do you want to do going forward? How do you want to conduct yourself? I challenge that with you. How do you want people to see you? What do you want your character to look like? What do you want your reputation to be to other people? It's important to you that people see the good in the God that's in you when you open your mouth. Because you can meet some stranger, lyric, and walk up to you. The first thing we do is we see. The second thing we do is we listen. So what's coming out of your mouth is also how people process the person that's in front of them. Because we listen. We hear, but we also listen. Because just because you dress nicely doesn't mean you have character flaws that to the point that I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I don't care how you dress. I don't care how immaculate you look. But the things that come out your mouth determines whether or not I want a relationship. It's not about what you see. What you hear is always going to be more important than what you see. Or it should be. Because your mouth, these words define what's in your heart. And that's more vital than anything. Because that's the character of who you are. So thank you for tuning in to this particular episode. I really hope this has been good feeding for you. If you know anyone that could benefit from this message, if you like the message, share the message. Because we got to get better as a people. That balancing relationship, it always starts with yourself. And we are just lousy when it comes to relationship. We need to be better. And I know there's many of you out there want to be better. So please share. If you like the message, also click the like button. Subscribe and follow if you have not yet done so. And be a part of my podcast community. I welcome that. And for all those that continue to support me, all those continue to encourage me, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Season 3 is still part of letter writing. Please, I want your letters. Please write whatever you feel you want to write to Share It With Charlotte. And that's CHAR@shareitwithcharlotte.com. CHAR@shareitwithcharlotte.com. I welcome your letters. I welcome your input. I welcome your story. So thank you again. And I thank you for loving on me. And please, don't forget you can also check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and be a part of this journey with me. Thank you so much.